Dear Thai, dear Sangha, just over 2 years ago I was diagnosed with a serious illness which is life-limiting and possibly life-shortening and definitely disabling, and there's no cure or proper treatment for this disease. It's a variant of motor neurone disease. Can I ask 2 questions? They're very quick. Well, one's practical and one's more. I was wondering if there's any way you could guide me to encourage other people who are disabled to take up the practice, because I suspect and I sometimes hear of people who have something happen to them like it's happened to me, and it either stops them from going to take part in things like this, or makes them very angry. I'm finding that the practice is what is helping me, because being in the here and now is the most important thing, and in a way, as Thai teachers, eternity is in the here and the now, and so that's the philosophy that I'm trying to live by. So how can we encourage more disabled people to come to the practice? Disabled people in this country, there's a lot of anger amongst disabled people. They don't feel generally very well respected by institutions and power.
Dear community, for me, I'm very fortunate to have very good health. So a personal experience I don't have, but I do have a dear friend of mine who have went through many illness. She was a top engineer at Intel, and only about when she was 30 years old, when she had a minor stroke, and she was paralyzed half of her body. Luckily, because her young age, she was able to recover, but only somewhat recover on physical form. Mental-wise, it was very painful for her, because at a young age like that, at the top of everything, and now you are handicapped. You're unable to do anything. And so on top of that, her health also started to go down. She have chronic fatigues. She have tumors that was growing in her uterus, ovaries. So she had to have surgery. And then the tumors start again to grow along her intestines, another surgery. And now she has more tumors around her breast area. So many things that's going on. And then she keep having blackouts. So she's unable to drive. So still at a young age, all of this is coming down on her quite harsh. And I was with her throughout the whole process. So I kind of have a small understanding on the difficulties that she's going through. But the breaking light for her way out was, the first thing she did was she accepted it. That was the very first thing that make a breakthrough. Because before that, she cannot believe, how can this happen to me? Why me? So things like that really hurt her. But once she accepted as is, then that was her step one. And then she started taking care of herself, taking care of the emotions, the suffering that arise when she cannot accept this on the previous few years. So with sitting meditations, with mindful walking, and contemplating that she's in the nature to grow old and die, but it's just maybe a little bit sooner than expected. But then she also see that maybe there are people who are very healthy, but within an accident, for example, a car accident, they too could no longer be here, not enough conditions. So it's the same thing for her. Even though she have all these pains and all these other things, but death could come unexpectedly at any time, just like everybody else. So there's no difference in that. She just has to accept that her body is weak, but she can make her mind stronger and more healthy. So she pursued that spiritual path, just like you have now. So she learned to take care of her mind, to sitting, and let go of all these unwholesome feelings that come up, the unpleasant feelings, and she transformed them by looking at the beautiful things that's still there. Even though she may black out and fall, but she still can see. She can see the beauty in life. She still can hear. And she play music now. So there's many things, many conditions that help her to be happy, to live the best of her body able her for that day. And she lived it day by day. That's what she told me, and this is something I also learned from her. Tomorrow may not come, so today I live happily. If I make any cause of unskillfulness to my friends, or at that time me, then she would just make it right before the night is over. So she lived her day like that, and it became very wholesome. And then she contemplated, if I have one extra day to live, what would be the best thing for me to live it better, to do something better? And so she used that as her aspiration to do something better. Actually, she would become a nun too, but because of her health, so she said maybe not to burden the Sangha, but she can still be out there and practice just like the monks and nuns, just like the rest of us, and do the good things that she can to help others. And that is her aspiration, and that continues her spirit. And just recently, I talked to her like about 2 weeks ago. She had a blackout and she fell and she broke her ribs. But I asked her like, how you feel? And she said, yeah, I'm fine. You know, it hurts a little bit, but I didn't die. I still can able to walk around and do other things. So in that spirit, that sense, recognizing the small little things that is in her daily life, the happy little things in her daily life, and add them together, and that become the focus of her mind, that she is happy. She doesn't focus on the disability that she has. She focuses on the things that she can do while she still can. So, yeah, she inspired me a lot, and I hope that will also inspire you, and hope partially answer your question.
I believe the other part of your question was how to inspire more people to attend the retreat who have disabilities. And very often in our retreats we have feedback forms. And after each retreat, there's also a question like, how did you get to know about this retreat? And then we see it's not so much like flyers or anything. It's just mostly by word of mouth. And so I think the best way is is to share about personal transformation. And I think that's what inspires people the most, is your own practice, or like how you carried it out, or how the practice has made a difference in your own life. So a personal story, but it's not only a story, it's also authentic by your own way of living, and that people can really see that the way that you live is happier, is more free. You have more joy in your life. You're accepting yourself just the way you are, and I think that's the best way to inspire other people to come. So good luck. So we are about ending time. But since we have only had one written question, so maybe we can, of the adults, maybe we can end with a written question. And the other ones, I hope that somehow they get answered. Tomorrow maybe. Or maybe we listen to one sound of the bell. So this is a question about the Dharma talk of yesterday. So you said yesterday that when someone dies, we can be in touch with that person not as the sign that they were, but as new signs. Like the rain is a cloud as a new sign. You said we can look for new signs in terms of the actions that person took in the world. Can you please talk more about this and the game of hide and seek? And then it has a second part. During the touching the earth practice, it mentions channeling the energy of the ancestors to help in the here and now. Can our ancestors hear and respond to us, and how? So, at least for myself, I would like to share that I think it was in February that the whole of our center, European Institute of Applied Buddhism, we went to Plum Village also to see our teacher again, because he had been in the United States for treatment for 6 months, and then he came back, and after the winter retreat we really like to visit him, so we went to Plum Village. And then, when I was in Plum Village, then I saw Thai everywhere. And I thought, like, no matter, Thai is okay, he still is alive, he's still with us in his physical form, but I see him everywhere. He's just completely part of Plum Village. So everywhere where I walked, I could see Thai, and also in the brothers and sisters, and just in everything, in the dining hall, the sound of the clock in the dining hall, the bell, the meditation hall. So I could really see. Also, during Thai lives, I could see his presence in much more than just in his body. For me that was also really an experience, really how you can can see people in much more than just their body, but also in everything, where they've been, what their life work has been. And well, for me, the second part of the question is also if our ancestors can hear and respond to us. Is also to see that our ancestors are also us, and so they're not separate from us. And so there's also we can meditate on what we call inner and outer, like what is in us and what is outside of us. And also to see that, that the ancestors are part of us and they can hear and respond to us because they are us. And they're not... it's not that kind of duality. So this is what I would like to share, and I am inviting my brothers and sisters to share from their own experience. And so we can end with 3 sounds of the bell. We can enjoy our breathing together.